Good everyone, and a powerful welcome to each one of you, especially to those who are part of my channel, Neville Manifestation, where we believe in turning thoughts into reality. I'm truly grateful to have you here because today isn't just about listening, it's about awakening the greatness within you. What if I told you that in the next few minutes, one idea could change the way you see everything around you? We often believe greatness belongs to someone else, yet history proves it begins with one simple thought, one bold step. Today, I'm not here to just speak, I'm here to challenge the limits you've quietly accepted. Because the truth is, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just the courage to begin. Good evening, my friends. Tonight I want to awaken something powerful within you, the ability to manifest anything. Not just the small things you've already convinced yourself are possible, but truly anything. I'm not using big words for motivation or inspiration. I mean this with complete certainty. The mind you carry right now holds unlimited power. It has the ability to reshape every part of your reality. Your current situation is not permanent. It is not fixed. It is not a final judgment of your life. Everything around you is flexible, responsive, and constantly changing based on the images and beliefs you hold within. Because what are you truly, if not imagination itself? And what is God if not the creative force moving through your awareness in this very moment? If you are waiting for something outside of you to change before you feel different, you are living life backwards. Waiting for money before you feel abundant, waiting for love before you feel worthy, waiting for healing before you feel whole. That is not how life works. Life has always moved from the inside outward. Consciousness is the only real foundation. The world does not reflect what you wish for, what you deserve, or even what you work for. It reflects who you are. And who you are is simply the collection of thoughts you repeat and the emotional states you live in every day. Real change begins when your inner state changes. And here is the truth, simple but powerful. You become what you believe yourself to be. You cannot rise beyond your own assumptions. You cannot experience a greater life than the one you feel internally. Now think about what you truly want. It could be a home, wealth, love, health, or purpose. Whatever it is, see it clearly in your mind. But don't wish for it. Don't hope for it. Don't place it somewhere in the future. Instead, claim it. Assume it is already yours. Treat it as something that already exists in your life right now. Even if your physical senses say otherwise, if you continue to live in that assumption, consistently, deeply, and repeatedly, it will eventually become real. This is not just an idea, it is a law, just as precise as gravity. And here is the key. You must live in the end result. Not visit it occasionally, not test it with doubt. You must fully step into it. Think of it like moving into a new home. You don't just stand at the door, you settle in. You learn its details. You become comfortable in it. In the same way, you must become familiar with your fulfilled desire. Feel it as if it is already part of your normal life. Experience its details in your imagination until it feels natural, not distant. Because feeling is everything. Feeling is the bridge between your inner world and your outer reality. Thinking alone is not enough. You must feel yourself into the reality you want. The world doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your emotional state. It reacts to the energy you carry within. If you say you are successful but feel doubt inside, the feeling wins. Always. This is why your thoughts and your feelings must align. You must not only think about your desired life, you must live it internally until it feels real and effortless. Now let me make something clear. Do not worry about how it will happen. This is where most people lose their power. They try to control the process instead of trusting it. A seed doesn't question how it will grow. It doesn't try to control the soil, the rain, or the timing. It simply becomes what it was meant to be. And so will you. Your only job is to live in the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. Not to figure out the path, not to control the outcome. The sequence of events, the bridge that connects your assumption to reality, will form on its own in ways you cannot predict. This is not doing nothing. This is the most powerful form of action because all real creation begins within. Everything you see in the physical world is just the result of an inner state that already existed. So each night before you fall asleep, take control of your mind. Do not let the day pass without reflection. Instead, use that quiet moment before sleep to reshape your reality. Replay your day the way you wish it had gone. Imagine your desire as already fulfilled. See it, feel it, experience it as real. Let that feeling sink deep into your subconscious, because what you impress upon your mind in that state will begin to shape your world. Let it become so real to you, so detailed and familiar, that it no longer feels like something extraordinary. It should feel normal. That's the point. Not the excitement of something you're still hoping for, not the rush of something just out of reach, but the calm, steady feeling of something that already belongs to you. Your mind is always at work, even when you're not aware of it. Every small complaint, every careless remark, every automatic thought of lack is being accepted by your subconscious as instruction. It does not question you. It does not pause to ask if this is what you truly want. It simply receives and begins creating from it. This is why your inner dialogue matters so much. Not in a stressful way, where you try to control every thought, but in a grounded way, where you've made a clear decision about who you are. Once that decision is made, your inner voice begins to reflect it naturally. In quiet moments and in intentional ones, you start speaking to yourself as someone who already has what they desire. There is something people often miss, and it costs them deeply. Doubt is not neutral. Fear is not harmless. Both are forms of belief. When you give them your attention, when you sit in them and feel them, you are not just reacting, you are creating from them. The law does not judge what you focus on. It does not reward only the positive thoughts. It simply reflects whatever state you consistently occupy. Whatever you return to again and again, it multiplies. This is why fear can feel so powerful, but it also reveals something freeing. If the law responds so precisely to fear, it will respond just as precisely to confidence, to love, to abundance, to certainty. It has no preference. It mirrors you exactly as you are. So the real question becomes, what are you choosing to stand in front of that mirror? To truly activate your mind, not just inspire it for a moment, but engage its real power, you have to stop tying your identity to your past. Your past is something you experienced, not something you are. You are not your past mistakes. You are not your pain. You are not the habits that formed before you understood how they were created. You are awareness itself. You are the one choosing what to believe, what to assume, what to give life to inside your mind. The moment this becomes real to you, not just an idea, but something you feel deeply, you step into a kind of freedom, because if you can feel your desire as already complete, then the process of bringing it into reality has already begun. It is not a possibility, it is a certainty. This is not about wishful thinking. This is about how consciousness operates, with the same consistency as any natural law. Your mind is not just a place where thoughts happen. It is the space where creation begins. Not occasionally, but constantly. Imagination is not something separate from reality. It is the starting point of everything that becomes real. Every invention, every building, every piece of art began as something unseen, something imagined first. And just like those things, your life follows the same pattern. What you experience externally must first exist internally. You have to see it within before it shows up around you. You have to accept it as done in your mind before it can take form in your world. When it was said, "Believe you have received it, and it will be yours," it wasn't symbolic. It was a direct instruction. Believe it is already yours now, not later, not someday, now. Because creation happens in the present moment, inside your awareness, and this goes deeper. Creating your reality is not something you do once in a while. It is the state you are always in. You are always imagining, always shaping, always projecting something. You are not someone who sometimes manifests. You are always manifesting. The only difference is whether you are doing it consciously or unconsciously. Once you understand that your mind is like a projector and your world is the screen, you stop trying to fix things outside. You go straight to the source. You change your thoughts. You shift your assumptions. You adjust the way you speak to yourself and the emotional tone you live in. And when you do that, the outer world has no choice but to reflect it. This is the deeper truth made simple. The world you see is an extension of you. The people, the situations, the opportunities, even the unexpected moments, all of it is shaped by the patterns you have accepted within yourself. If you want different relationships, you must become different within. If you want a new financial life, you must step into the mindset of the version of you who already has it. You must begin to see yourself differently. Speak differently to yourself. React to life as the person you are becoming. Because if you continue to think the same way, feel the same way, and identify as the same version of yourself, nothing outside can truly change. But the moment you shift within, everything begins to move with you. When you keep living from a place of lack, you continue to recreate that same lack. Not because you are being punished, not because something is judging your worth, but simply because the law responds to what you consistently hold within. It works the same way every time, without emotion, without preference. It only reflects. So the real question is not whether this law is working. It always is. The question is, what are you feeding it? And understand this clearly. You cannot awaken the power of your mind through pressure or fear. It does not respond to force. It opens through calmness, through ease, through a kind of quiet trust. Not the kind of surrender where you give up, but the kind where you know the work is already done. Like a farmer who plants a seed and doesn't keep digging it up to check if it's growing. He trusts the process. He knows that worrying won't make it grow faster. In fact, interference would only harm it. This is how you must move through life, light, steady, and certain. You stop arguing with what you see around you. You stop reacting to appearances as if they are final. Instead, you return again and again to the reality you have accepted within, without frustration, without desperation. Just a quiet decision that this is who you are now. You begin to feel the joy before anything happens. You feel satisfaction before results appear. You feel abundance before money shows up. This is not fooling yourself. This is how creation actually works. It has always worked this way. The person who is unaware reacts to life. The one who understands creates it. One allows circumstances to control their inner state. The other chooses their inner state and lets the outer world follow. Never underestimate repetition. The subconscious doesn't change because of one strong moment. It changes through consistent feeling, through steady belief, repeated until it becomes natural. If you say something like, "I am wealthy," but don't feel it yet, don't quit. But also don't say it with strain or desperation. Let it settle into you. Let it become a quiet truth instead of a forced statement. Let it repeat in your mind gently like a background rhythm, until one day it no longer feels like practice, it feels like reality. And then, when you least expect it, things begin to shift. Opportunities appear. Ideas come to you. Situations align in ways you could not have planned. Not because you forced anything, but because you stayed in the state long enough for it to become your natural way of being. You are always sending out a signal, always. The question is not whether you are creating, it is what you are creating. Every thought backed by real feeling becomes a command. Every fear you dwell on becomes a result waiting to happen. So why not turn this around on purpose? Why not use it in your favor? Instead of expecting things to go wrong, begin expecting things to work out. Instead of replaying what you don't want, start repeating what you do want until it feels obvious. The moment you truly step into a state and feel it as real, the process begins instantly. Not when results show up, but the moment the state becomes real inside you. You might not see anything change right away. That doesn't mean nothing is happening. The seed is already planted. Do not disturb it with doubt. Do not cancel it by going back and forth between belief and fear. That back and forth is what creates confusion in your outer world. You receive exactly what you consistently hold. Stay steady. Stay committed. The longer you remain in a state, the more natural it becomes. And once it feels natural, it becomes unavoidable. That sense of normalness is the sign that it has taken root. And what is accepted deeply will always show itself in reality, just like a planted seed eventually becomes a tree. This ability to create your reality is not limited to a few people. It is not reserved for the lucky or the worthy. It belongs to you. It is part of your nature. It is not hidden from you. It is not locked behind some complicated method. It is available right now. The moment you stop searching outside and turn inward, truly inward, you will feel it. A quiet certainty, a calm knowing that doesn't need proof. It feels steady, it feels real, more real than anything outside. And that feeling is more powerful than any technique in the world, because once you truly feel it, reality must follow. The outer world is never the starting point. It is always the result. Consciousness is the cause of everything. And yes, doubt will come, especially in the beginning. That's normal. But don't fight it. Don't argue with it. Rise above it. How? By returning to the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. Right now, in this moment. Not thinking about it, but feeling it. This is your real power. The ability to feel something as real before it appears. This is what makes you different. This is what allows you to create. You do not activate your mind by worrying or forcing things to happen. You activate it by accepting, by feeling, by choosing your inner reality with confidence and ease. You are not here to chase life. You are here to create it from within. You are not here to live at the mercy of what happens around you. You are here to direct your reality through what you feel, what you imagine, and what you choose to accept as true within yourself. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. What once felt like imagination starts to feel normal. What once felt like pretending becomes your way of being. What once felt far away becomes part of your daily life. You stop hoping and you start knowing. You stop waiting and you start living in it. And when you truly live in that state, everything you desire begins moving toward you with the same certainty as any natural law. Do not confuse silence with nothing happening. Do not mistake the delay between your inner shift and the outer result as failure. The moment you change within, your world begins adjusting itself. It may happen quietly. It may unfold in ways you did not expect. It may only make sense later when you look back, but it is always happening. Your role is simple. Stay calm. Stay steady. Keep returning to the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. Not with effort, but with ease. This is where your power is. This is where everything begins and continues. There is an important difference you must understand. Thinking about your desire keeps it separate from you. Thinking from your desire places you inside it. When you think from the end, you are no longer looking at what you want. You are living as the one who already has it. The feeling you build inside becomes a magnet, and everything you want is drawn to it when you truly become that state, not when you pretend, but when it feels like who you are. There will be moments when the old version of you tries to come back. Fear may show up. Logic may try to convince you that nothing has changed. The world may show you the same old evidence. In those moments, you don't panic. You don't fight. You simply return. You remind yourself who you have chosen to be. You step back into that state as naturally as walking back into your own home. And quietly within yourself, you decide again, this is my truth now. That is what it means to live with faith. Not forcing anything, not trying to control everything outside, but holding steady to what you know inside. You don't need to push the world to change. You assume your truth, and the world follows. Be willing to believe in what you cannot yet see. Be willing to feel it real before there is proof. Walk as it is already done, because in the place where all things begin, it already is. Let the old version of your life fade away. Let doubt lose its hold. Let fear fall off naturally, like something that no longer belongs to you. You have stepped into a new identity now, and from this point forward, everything must begin to reflect that change. Life is not happening to you. It is unfolding through you, through every thought, every feeling, every belief you hold on to. You are the one creating. You are the one directing. You are the power behind it all. So begin now, not later, not when you feel ready, right now. Close your eyes and feel it real. Whatever you want, imagine what it would feel like if it were already done. Don't force it. Let it come naturally. Let it feel simple. Let it feel like something that has always been yours. Stay there. Return to it often. Make it more real to you than anything you see outside. And as you do, something begins to shift. The world around you starts changing. People respond differently. Opportunities appear. Paths open in ways you couldn't have planned. And when it happens, you won't feel shocked. You will recognize it. because you knew it was already yours the moment you accepted it within. You are no longer the version of yourself that waits for life to decide how you feel. You are the one who chooses the feeling first and watches life follow. This is the awakened mind. This is what has always been yours. It was never hidden from you. It was only waiting for you to see it. Your imagination is not just a tool. It is the creative force itself in action. Use it, trust it, live from it, and then watch calmly and confidently as what once seemed impossible begins to shape itself into your reality. As I conclude, remember this: greatness is not a distant dream. It is a decision you make in this very moment. The power to rise above limits, to turn ordinary into extraordinary, has always been within you. Let today not just be a speech you heard, but a turning point you lived. Because in the end, the world doesn't remember those who waited. It remembers those who dared to begin.